This video is brought to you by my two books, Practical Music Theory for the Rock Guitarist and The Blues Guitar Bible. Want to learn about modes, harmony, scales, chord substitution and keys? Or maybe you're interested in supercharging your blues guitar rhythm and lead chops. Whatever you're interested in, I guarantee you will be hitting the fast lane to progress with either of these works. Both feature video demonstrations and tutorials, loads of tabs and jam tracks to play along with, and I promise you, everything is explained in crystal clear plain English. Check out the links in the description for more details. Hello chaps, welcome once again to John Robson Guitar Tuition. As always, I do hope you're well. A little bit of a Q&A style video today. As this video has evolved from the initial idea, it's ended up being something that probably should go out in the top 5 Tuesday slot, but I have a need for a video to go out today, so I'm going to stick with the original plan. You might want to think of this as a top 5 Thursday or something, I don't know, whatever it is. But basically, on that top 5 Tuesday slot recently, I did, well, probably a couple of months ago by the time this video goes out, I did, a sort of a catch-up thing of viewers' questions, the sort of stuff that people ask me on a regular basis. The most commonplace questions I get asked. And some of these, all of these questions today are a sort of a kind of hangover from that video. And I just thought they needed a separate kind of airing in their own right, because they all pertain to one particular topic, YouTube, and my approach to it and why I do it, and well, you'll see. Let's get on with the questions and hopefully it will all become clear.
Why do you do YouTube, and what made you start?
Okay, well, you go back to the year 2000, really. I got my first ever PC running Windows 98. And, everybody back then at the sort of turn of the millennium was, talking about, you got to have a website, website. Why haven't you got a website? So I bought a PC and I bought HTML for Dummies and made a website, and thinking, right, this is it. I'm in the global marketplace now. I had all sorts of plans for doing kind of lessons online. I didn't know how I was going to do it, but that was sort of, I thought I'll find a way, And of course, like everybody's home-built website, it just disappears into the weeds of the bottom end of the internet and never to be seen again. It doesn't show up in Yahoo searches. Remember when everybody used to use Yahoo? It doesn't show up in those searches or anything like that. And so it was like, okay, well, I'll just go back to the good old Yellow Pages listing then and rely on that. Then, not many years later, along comes this new thing called MySpace, where you can basically have your own website, but hosted on MySpace. And it shows up in search engines, and, I started getting work through that. And then, of course, MySpace was, I'd backed the wrong horse there, hadn't I? It was the equivalent of quadraphonic sound Betamax videos and 8-track cartridges. It just disappeared. And what I was doing on MySpace didn't really translate well to Facebook or to, any of the, like Twitter or anything like that when that came along. So, I went back to the idea of I'll just try and get the website kind of, tart it up a little bit and see if that can bring in some trade. Or just basically to get people coming to me for guitar lessons. And then this YouTube thing started. Was it 2005? And, I think it was in 2007, 2008, I started uploading some really rather awful videos to it, just learning the craft of making videos and kind of, anyway, long story short, it started because I needed an online presence, and as MySpace had kind of worked for me, but none of the other social media things really did, they weren't really a good fit for me. YouTube just seemed to be the one that after 10 years of uploading videos, it just seemed to kind of snap into place and back in focus. It just seemed to snap into place and start working for me, and you know, I enjoy doing it. That's got to be the main thing. You know, if you enjoy doing something, then, you know, it's, what's that saying? You know, find a job you love and you'll never work a day in your life. I love doing this, and that's a lot of the reason why I'd do it. If I won the lottery tomorrow, I'd still be making YouTube videos. I must check my ticket, actually. I might be sat here as a millionaire. But, you know, if that were to happen, you know, I'd still be doing this. Next.
Do you have channel sponsors?
Not at the moment, no, but I'm not against it in principle. The only thing is it would have to be a company or a product that I'm interested in and think is worthy of recommendation. You know, you could have the best product in the world, you know, but you know, if I'm not interested in it, then I'm going to have to, you know, feign interest and put on my salesman's hat and shill this product that I'm not really interested in to an audience of people who can probably see right through the fact that it's all an act. So no, I don't have channel sponsors. If the right company and product were to come along, then yeah, possibly, but it's not something I'm actively seeking. So yeah, I'm kind of on the fence with that one. Next.
Are you disappointed when a video doesn't perform well?
Well, of course I do, yeah. You know, it takes a lot of time to put a video together. You know, you've got to, I mean, I don't write a script, but I have, for this video here, I have got like a notepad down there with bullet points on that I'm, you know, I'm going to talk about. So there's thought, and there's time and thought goes into that. Then there's the whole thing of editing it all together, like putting the kind of little question slides in between me doing this blurb to camera, and, you know, then like for, you know, when I'm demoing a guitar or something and there's a piece of music needs writing and recording and editing together and, you know, all that sort of stuff, there's time goes into it. It's stuff that I enjoy doing, don't get me wrong, but it can be disappointing when all of that effort seems to go unrewarded. But, you know, thankfully it doesn't happen too often, but, you know, we all miss the bullseye from time to time. The question is how you deal with it. And I liken it to being, you know, when I was playing in bands, you know, if you are no matter how much you love the songs that you're doing, if, you know, you're regularly playing to, you know, 3/4 or half empty rooms, and the applause is sparse, then, you know, the natural reaction is, yeah, we need to tweak this set a little bit. We need to do something. So, you know, you learn from it. When a video doesn't do particularly well, you know, you kind of try and spot what the trends are, which videos are doing better than others and which ones aren't. That said, the tuition videos for me have always been a little bit of, well, they're in the bottom half of my viewing figures, shall we say. But I kind of do those as a loss leader, because although those videos don't tend to do the best numbers on YouTube, they're the ones that get people emailing me and asking me for private one-to-one lessons. So they're kind of like my business card, if you like. So I'm still going to, and I enjoy doing the teaching thing as well. In the mid sort of 90s, I was a gigging guitarist who did a few lessons on the side, and gradually the lessons took over. And, you know, I realised that I had this, that I got a lot of satisfaction from the tuition side of things. And so that's why I'm always going to keep on doing those. But yeah, it's disappointing when a video doesn't do well, but, you know, I'm big enough and old enough and ugly enough to be able to take that sort of disappointment on the chin and hopefully learn from it. Next.
Would you ever go full-time as a YouTuber?
No. Well, not unless that lottery ticket that's in my wallet was to come up and I could just sort of sit here and do this full-time. The reason is that I've been in a situation in the past where my only single source of income was from people coming to the house for guitar lessons. and I was doing okay with that. And then, it doesn't take much, in terms of, like, we had a big steel works here in Redcar that closed down, and it really did, give the local economy a massive kicking, and that affected my income. I was the guitar lessons were a luxury that some people then just had to kind of cut back on, and when you've got all of your eggs in one basket, when you've got a sole revenue stream like that, any sole revenue stream, whether it's private guitar lessons at the house or whether it's making YouTube videos, that can it's vulnerable. If all of your eggs are in one basket, then it can be, you are, it can go wrong a lot easier than if you've got multiple income streams. Like I do private lessons in the house here. I do online lessons via Zoom. I do YouTube. Then the YouTube thing drives the Patreon thing. Then, I get some income from the books and courses that I've written. So it's all coming in from different avenues, and when you have a good month with one thing, with one revenue stream, that often offsets a little bit of a quiet month with one of the other revenue streams. So I would be very, very, very wary of going full-time and just devoting all of my time to one particular avenue, because it's I like to spread the risk a little bit. There you go. Next.
Which channels do you watch?
Well, YouTube really is my sort of on-screen entertainment these days. I watch hardly any television. It wouldn't be a hardship for me to not have a television. I mean, I don't think I could say the same for my missus. She's glued to it all. She makes and sells her own handmade jewellery, and she sits there in the living room with a little kind of craft table, and she's messing around with bits and pieces of jewellery that she's making, and she's got the TV on all day. But I watch very, very little television. Most of my on-screen entertainment is YouTube. I like to try and keep abreast of news and current affairs via YouTube. And the danger there is that you can sort of just end up picking one or two sources that happen to chime with your worldview, and then you end up in an echo chamber. So I like to try and keep a watch across various different viewpoints in that sense. But in terms of guitar and music, which is, I suppose, what the question relates to, Phil McKnight, Steve Cassidy, Spectre Sound, classic album review. He's really kind of funny, that guy, in a very dry and sarcastic way. Sometimes got a wonderful turn of phrase. KDH, Paul Davids, Rick Beato, John Cordy. All of the usual suspects, basically. These are the channels that I watch, and countless others as well. Sometimes I'll find a really great video by a channel that I've never heard of, watch it, really enjoy it, and then forget who it was, and then forget, if you've seen a great video and you can't remember what the exact title of it was or who it was by, then it's YouTube can be a little bit of a needle in a haystack, trying to find who it was so you can find the channel again. But there you go. Those are just some questions that I regularly get asked pertaining to the topic of YouTube. Hope the answers have proved informative and hopefully enlightening, and if that's the case, please hit the subscribe button and the notification bell if you haven't already done so, and why not drop me a like as well while you're at it. Don't forget the live stream every Friday 5 PM UK time, where we drink beer and have a chat, basically. It's a great way to kick off the weekend, I think, and I'd love to see you there if you can make it. But for now, I'll bid you all a good day and say thank you so much for watching. Thank you for your time. Look after yourselves, folks. Stay well, stay safe, and above all, stay sane. Bye for now.